this scaffolding is perfectly balanced. So what we're gonna try to do is have both of us lean out this side and grab something and pull it up out this way.
Yeah, it'll work, it works.
Hey, it's Brock here with Rock Hill Farms. If you've been following along with the Quonset Hut, you know that we got 75% of it up in just a few weeks, and then we've really hit a snag since then and haven't made much progress with the combination of not being able to find help and the weather. But today I decided I'm gonna get something done and take whatever help I can get. So I did get one person here right now, and I think we're gonna try putting arches up one piece at a time. We have had a system that we have 25 arches standing, and we stood all those up with a system where we built the whole arch and then leveraged it up. But today, with only one helper, I think we're gonna try putting it up one piece at a time. And a lot of people have told me that they like that way better. It doesn't seem better to me, but let's find out. And bottom line is, I just need to get some progress made because I want to be using this building. Really, I'd like to already be using it. And as soon as we get these last 4 arches up, I still have end walls to put up. So we're gonna start on this end and see if we can do it one piece at a time. And I'll time that. I know exactly how long it takes the other way. I'll time it and see how this compares. So we're in the mid 40s right now, and wind is 12 to 15 miles an hour. And we've worked on this a few times in that wind range of 15, and that's about the limit. One day we were out here, it was close to 20, and that felt pretty dangerous. But we got the basic tools rounded up. We use a driver on each side. It's 1/2 inch on the outside and a 9/16 on the inside. This is an 8-point 9/16. It fits the square nuts on the back. Then each person needs 2 of these clamps, or at least 1 clamp per person, and 2 pins for aligning. As we go up this, we're going to do what we've switched to and only get the bolts run down finger tight and not tighten anything until the whole arch is up. I've got Cooper here with me. Seems to show up every time I want to work on the Quonset Hut. I was kind of complimenting him on that. He said he was about that life. And I'm old, but I think that means he likes it. Rather than getting down on our hands and knees, I'm gonna see if we can prop this up where we're working standing up. And I think if we just put some weight at this end, we can build it up at chest height. Okay. One thing that really makes this time consuming is that there are just so many bolts. Each arch, I counted 154 bolts per arch. And you have to handle each one of them twice, and 16 foot high up in the middle. I really sound like a whiner, don't I? But that's just...
No, that's just the facts, though.
It's why it takes so long, because you have to get to each section up in the air twice. And then like this one, the threads seem to be messed up. Luckily, they sent us a lot of extra nuts and bolts because we've lost a bunch.
They're buried somewhere.
Yeah. We've got to assemble this same thing for each side. So while we've got everything set up in here, I guess we'll go ahead and do the other one.
Please.
Nope, I'm gonna set this down, but you wanna move that?
Yeah.
The wind, that wind is literally turning me the way I didn't want to go.
Picking that shit up. Picking up our
Yeah.
Lift you off the ground.
I'm like, I got this. No, I don't.
Holy shit.
Take it back down, we gotta start over. That's not a clean shot. We only show the good takes in here. Right. The key is communicate. Now, you keep your hands on it and I'll get a clamp.
Yeah. Find my side now.
All right. And you gotta chipmunk it. Bolts in one pocket, nuts in the other. I don't know what you do if you don't have pockets. I came out here one day and I thought I could do this whole thing by myself. Just take my time, get each panel up, and I'll show you where I ran into problems with that. So I was actually able to put these first sections up, but it's more about bolting them than getting them in place. I've got it lined up, I've got 3 bolts in, and I was thinking at this point, if you had no choice, you could literally do this by yourself. The problem is, I've got long arms, and I can just barely reach the back side of the bolt, and you can't really get the nuts on very well. So now, I've got a bolt started and a nut on, I can just barely reach it. So you can put the bolts in, but your face is basically pressed against the side of this. And so yeah, I suppose it's possible, but each bolt is a real strain. Outside of it?
Yeah, outside of it.
Everybody asks why I don't have a scissor lift rented, and the answer is if you're going to rent a scissor lift, you need to have a crew of people that are ready to be here every day over the course of a week, because even with exactly the right lifts and everything, it's going to take you a few days to get this put up, and it might even be smart to have as many arches as possible pre-assembled before getting the lift on site, because every day with that lift is expensive, and with the situation I'm in, I knew it was going to be a prolonged thing, and there's just no price justification for having a lift. So we've got 2 ladders and a scaffolding, and it's been working fine. The only downside is you have to get down and move the scaffolding instead of just using a control lever on the scissor lift. Start all the way down here. Why is that not nowhere close to the thing? It's way out. Hold on. Let me pull these punches out up here before I start wiggling it and they fall on my head.
Yeah.
Not that that would ever happen to me. But like I know somebody who had to drop a punch on their head.
Pretty sure I heard of somebody getting that done.
I got one where the punch is at. I should be able to get the one below it. Be able to get a nut on that one.
There you go.
Even if we did have a lift out here, still wouldn't have a way to access the outside of the wall to get as far up as we can. I think some of these problems are only problems because we put the building on a 2-foot tall wall. When I bought this building, they made the suggestion of setting it on this wall because if you look at where the curve starts on your building, by putting it on this 2-foot wall, we can now put something 8 foot tall up against the wall, which is a big concern with a rounded building like this, is that you lose your wall space. By lifting it up, we gain that wall space back, but the trade-off is it's a lot harder to build. It was a major process trying to get a 2 foot tall wall here without spending a fortune on it, and it's made the entire process of building this more difficult. So just something to factor in.
But like 4 arches in a day is, for some reason, it just feels like it's pushing it.
Yeah, well, it's all a variable too of how many people you have.
Right.
If you had 6 people, we did 6 arches, but.
Right. 4 people's easy with 3 arches. Getting 4 means you got to start a little bit earlier.
Woo.
Yeah,
Hey,
right.
get those words out of your mouth.
I know it, dude. I know it. I know.
That's all I can get from here.
I know it's
I
hard.
see the downside to this ladder.
Yeah, the ladder, it
Doesn't get you very close.
yeah, it doesn't get too close, and then it's easier once you get it. You can flip it and put it on the inside, and you'd be right here, coming over the top of it instead.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna have to do. I put that ladder there. It only let me get to another 4 or 5 bolts. Now we'll have to reach over the top from the inside of the wall. I think we might have an easier way to get these next panels up to the top. So we're gonna try strapping them to an IBC tote, lifting them up with the tractor, then get on the scaffolding and pull them the rest of the way. This should work pretty well as long as we can reach it from the scaffolding. So we'll see how much lift we've got. I think that this scaffolding is perfectly balanced. So what we're gonna try to do is have both of us lean out this side and grab something and pull it up out this way.
Yeah, it'll work. It'll work. Swing your hips, bend your knees, hold your breath. Just let her go.
Okay, now just hold it there and stand up. I got him.
Okay.
So my question is, if we're lined up down at the bottom, so that when we start putting punches in, we know we're actually in the right place.
Right here.
Okay. Punches in. Okay. Let's get a couple bolts right in front of you.
Okay.
If you can reach under. Can you reach that?
No, not from here.
Yeah. I should be able to. I'm just gonna stand here and hold this because he can't reach the nuts. He's gonna get a ladder underneath. I don't think this is going anywhere. So, you might just let the loader down.
Okay.
Shut the tractor off. Actually, to let the loader down, you have to back it up. Are you comfortable with operating?
I'll put it in a. I'll back it up just a little bit.
Can you reach those?
Another one above it.
I'm coming up 2 holes up higher.
Okay.
Is that coming through? Okay.
there. And that one, there you go.
Can you reach over here?
Yep.
I was confused why they were lining up down the side but not down here, and it's because this bottom panel can sag and bend until you get it bolted up. Can you reach that one down there? Let me hang out there and get a finger on it. Okay. Hold on.
Put a foot against the bottom of it?
I got a foot against it.
Hold on. Okay, I'm gonna lift the bottom of it. So as we get really close to the end of this, I have end walls ready to go up, but I did not buy the doors. So basically what I have is a big stack of steel that we have to cut to fit the outside walls. And I'm gonna have to figure out how I want to do the doors. The original plan is a really wide door in the center that slides out to the outsides. But as I think about the practicality of using the building, I'm not sure if that's what I really want. I think the end that you see now is going to be used as storage and overflow for our manufacturing business. We'll have a stack of plywood in here, a pallet of extra wheels, just whatever kind of surplus material, and even fully finished products on pallets, probably on pallet racking. And then the other side of this building will be for equipment, whether that's hopefully at some point a skid steer, or tractor attachments that don't fit in the other shed, or just smaller attachments. The Model A will definitely be in here, but I'd like to park the mowing trailer in here. That's where I come down to having trouble deciding what kind of doors I want. Because if I only have a door in the center and pull the mowing trailer in, then I can't really get in and out without taking the mowing trailer in and out. So I've considered the option of having dual garage doors like I have on the front of the wood shop. But that's a really expensive option, especially if I have it done, and if I have automatic openers. So I thought about putting manually opening garage doors, 2 on each side, and that would give me more options if I ever wanted to park something in front of one door but still be able to get in and out of the other door. A lot to figure out, really. And also, I have to figure out how I want to hang light. So I think I'll be putting a big piece of angle iron that runs the length of the building and bolting it to the ceiling. And then I'll have that there from now on and can hang anything I need to from it. So just one possibility. But there's nothing like in a normal building that I can just screw lights into. So a decision needs to be made on that and on the doors. I may still go with the sliding doors, but I'm also thinking if I could afford to go ahead and put the 4 garage doors in it, then I could put automatic openers on them in the future.
So that probably took 3 hours instead of 2 just to put that one arch up, and he still has to go back along and tighten all those bolts up. But that square head socket on an impact driver is what allows you to tighten them up without moving 2 ladders. You can just do it from the bottom. Now, while he's doing that, I'm gonna start building the next arches.
So even after the arch is fully up, whether we stand it up as a complete arch or build it piece by piece, there's still a second job of going back through and tightening up every single bolt. And that takes about another 20 minutes just to go back through and tighten them all up. So I really would have liked to have got more than one arch done today, but it is what it is.
All right, so he's tightened all those down, and I've built a few arches, and now I've got to go run get a pallet of plywood for the shop. But we made a little bit of progress today in conditions that weren't ideal, so I'm happy with it. I appreciate you taking time to watch the video. I'll put links over here to a couple more of our videos, and I'll see you next time.